Hello, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Errol from the YouTube boxing community. We talked on Twitter. How you doing?
Oh, okay. I'm good.
Yeah. Are you ready for interview?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Beats. Introduce yourself.
Hi Jeff, this is Boxing Beats and Rhymes from London. Yeah, so you enjoying the United Kingdom?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Well, you're here on
Kinda
business.
cold.
You're here on business, really. It's not a holiday, I suppose.
No, definitely.
Yeah, okay. So basically, we might as well go to the core question. How is it going to go on Saturday, and how is Kevin Johnson feeling and looking? Let us know.
I mean, Kevin's in great shape, and he's ready to go. I mean, basically, their skill sets are on totally two different levels. I mean, the only advantage that Tyson Fury has is that he's a big guy. He's very big. He's very clumsy. And I mean, he hasn't done anything spectacular. He hasn't fought anybody, and so I mean, it's just a matter of Kevin going out there and doing what he should do, what he's capable of doing. If he put everything together, I mean, it should be a short night. I mean, I'm not impressed with Tyson Fury at all.
Wait, Jeff, I've been watching your training sessions and I'm really impressed with the chemistry, how you and Kevin are really getting along. You really gel together. It's like you having a great training camp. I honestly predict the upset over here, that I believe that your guy's going to knock him out, because I've seen the infighting training you've been working on, and I don't think Tyson Fury is used to fighting up close. I know you're not going to reveal your strategy, but you tell us a bit about how training camp's going on and the chemistry between you and Kevin Johnson?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I'm like that with all my fighters.
Okay.
I like to have fun. I mean, because once training becomes work, it's time to quit. It's time to find something else to do. But if I can make it fun, you look forward to doing it every day. So that's just my own little twist to boxing. I mean, not just with Kevin. I'm with every fighter you ever see me work with. You're gonna see me having fun with them. Because that's the one thing that I think that's more important than anything. But me and Kevin, I mean, we have a great chemistry.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, definitely. So I see Kevin use a lot of footwork and you work on a lot of I mean, your style is it what, defense and offense at the same time?
Yeah, well, countering off the defense, basically. And don't get me wrong. I mean, it's almost like Kevin's a perfect fit anyway, because Kevin is like a bigger version of my nephew. And that's something that he's already developed, and that I don't necessarily have to add to. It's just a matter of me keeping it sharp and adding a little bit to him. But I mean, he already knows what to do.
Definitely.
What I wanted to ask, because Kevin has bags of natural ability, and I think you're going to showcase a lot of that now you're training him. But would I be incorrect in saying he has been lazy in some fights? And do you have to metaphorically kick his ass sometimes to get the best out of Kevin Johnson?
Well, I mean, I can't say. This is actually my first time working with him, and I don't, and in all the training sessions that we had, I mean, that wasn't the case at all. And sometimes change can be good, because you feel new, you feel invigorated by sometimes just training with someone new. And I think that that's the case with him training with me now. And I don't necessarily think that he's lazy. I think that everybody's judging the fight with Vitaly, of course.
Yeah.
And I mean, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I understand some of it. The part is that Kevin got caught up in the fact of Vitaly Klitschko was knocking everybody out, and so he was one of those guys that he had the skill set to not get knocked out, but at the same time he didn't have no work ethic to counteract what he was doing, even though he was making a miss, even though he was landing a jab occasionally. He wasn't combative enough to win the fight. He didn't really give himself a chance to win.
Definitely. I mean, you guys ain't coming over here to lose now. I know that.
Got that right.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, pack up on the plane. Oh yeah, let's go over to England. It's a nice holiday, and we gonna do a couple of rounds. That's what Tyson Fury thinks. He's in a world of trouble.
I mean, Tyson Fury has never fight. He never faced anyone even close to Kevin's
skill
set.
That's right. Yes, sir.
You know, and that's the truth, and it's just a matter of Kevin applying it. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, if he applies the craft that he knows, I mean, we're gonna win. We're gonna win easy.
Yeah, and because this is for the interim belt, so people are hypothesizing or guessing that Batali may vacate the belt. So this potentially could be the heavyweight champion, the first American heavyweight champion.
In quite some time since what Shannon Briggs.
Yeah,
and I trained him.
You train? You train him against that Russian guy?
Actually, I was in the training camp,
Uh-huh.
and then you know, it kind of got haywire. I mean, he had too many trainers in camp, so
Okay.
I decided to leave the camp and then turn around and I took the title from him with Sultan Ibragimov.
Oh, you was in the other corner.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Dear. I bet he missed you now, ain't it?
I mean, it was one of those situations in which, you know, me personally, I just, you know, if you don't believe in me, you're gonna find out.
Yes, sir.
And that's what happened. You know, he found out that, you know, I found someone that was, you know, I trained someone else that was in the position, and they took the title from him, and they basically dominated him.
Yeah. Boy, I mean, I predict great things with you guys, man. I've seen the chemistry, I've seen the pad work. You know, I see the stuff you've been working on, and I also looked at Tyson Fury's training with his dad. He just comes in straight lines. I don't think he never seen nothing like Kevin. He ain't never seen nothing like Kevin. And first off, he has to hit Kevin, and that's gonna be very hard to do. But in a 12-round fight, where Kevin's gonna be, and Kevin looks like he's gonna see some seriously powerful infighting. I think that's to me. I mean, I'm not giving anything your strategy away, but I think that's the key to beating Tyson Fury up close and beating him to the body and wearing him down. I don't know if you guys.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, you ain't necessarily got to worry about us giving out no strategy.
Yeah.
I mean, that is part of the plan. The plan is to stay close.
Yeah, that's right.
And then smother him. So I mean, because he's big and he's clumsy. So I mean, if we smother him, I mean, you don't give him nothing, you know, to work with those long arms. You know, I mean, that's half the battle.
That's right. And I predict that.
I mean, he doesn't take a great shot. He's been down by, you know, I mean, weak opposition. So, you know, that's the reason why. I mean, the guy almost knocked himself out.
Jeff, so see the conference call yesterday. Was you obviously you was listening to it. That blew up over here. When we listened to that conference call, that was like wildfire going through. That was the most entertaining conference call. Can you comment on that?
Well, I mean, basically, you know, you have two guys that love to talk.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, eventually you're gonna have sparks. I mean, in every phone call, in every press conference, anything that those two are involved in, that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, don't get me wrong, but I mean, still, it's a business.
Yeah.
You know, and so I mean, you know, they say those things. You know, but I mean, once they pass each other in this hotel, I mean, they understand that you don't get paid. You don't get paid to be fighting outside the ring. So, I mean, they greet one another and just keep going and realize that this is a business and this is something we got to do.
So, all you guys in the same hotel?
Yeah.
Really?
No, you know what? No, you know what's funny is that Kevin Johnson, he plays the piano, and he plays it really, really well.
Okay.
And I don't know anything about Tyson Fury, but they say he can really sing.
Yeah.
But so I mean, it's funny that they asked both of them would they get together and do like Kevin playing the piano and him singing. And I don't know if they agreed to it, but me personally, I couldn't, because I'm like, I gotta stay in the mindset of wanting to, bust your ass. So I can't really, myself, I can't separate, the mission at hand, just for the sake of the press or whatever. But I mean, that's their decision.
Well, if they did that, did they done that in the hotel? What, Kevin was playing the piano and Tyson was singing, they done that?
I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, they were supposed to do it. I don't know if they did it. I don't know if they did it, though. It's kind of weird, because I mean, me, that kind of gives Fury the advantage, because if he's the one singing, he can sing when he wants to.
Yeah, that's true.
He can turn it into a hip hop song and talking about kicking your ass.
Oh, man.
But what you gonna do? Just play the keys harder? You gonna beat up the keys? But no. Like I said, I mean, to be honest, beyond the fact of it being a fight and it being a business. Mm-hmm. I mean, these two guys, they don't hate one another. Yeah. It's what you call, I guess, it's that temporary insanity. Yeah. You got to go into that mode, for just long enough to, do what you got to do.
Yeah, so I assume that, because you're fighting in Ireland, that if it goes points, they're probably going to job you. You guys are looking for a stoppage or a KO.
I mean, we know that we know that's pretty much what we have to do. Yes, we know that, chances of, getting a fair decision over here is almost it's almost unreal. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unless you just completely dominate this guy, probably you have to drop him 3 times around. I mean, because he's huge over here. Mm. He's huge, but like I said, I mean, I think that, he's a guy, he's already been exposed. He's been exposed by very, very weak opposition. Mm-hmm. And I don't see, no reason why Kevin can't knock him out. Mm-hmm.
You're on terrestrial TV, so there's going to be big numbers watching the fight in the UK. It's on Channel 5, so if Kevin does pull it off, it will definitely propel him back into, especially in Europe, it will be like earthquake tremors.
Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, the thing is this, is that, I mean, it's a situation that's good that the fight is going to be, Ustreamed to America as well, because, I mean, still, at the end of the day, just because somebody robs you doesn't necessarily mean you lost.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, if the fans get a chance to actually see what really truly happens, mm-hmm. and that, it's a highway robbery, mm-hmm. Kevin's going to still get another opportunity. Mm. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not really a loss.
No, that's right. That's right. So I think things will go well. We have a new heavyweight champion. His name's Kevin the Kingpin Johnson. And Jeff, this will be your first heavyweight champion, or you had another one? You had the Bragamoff, innit?
Yeah, Sultan the Bragamoff.
Yeah, Sultan the Bragamoff. Oh, okay. Are you training anyone else? I see you do a couple of MMA and on the UFC, a thingy fighter.
Yeah, I'm doing. I train King Mo. I train Roy Nelson. I train Vitor Belfort. Mm-hmm. Train Danny Castillo. Mm-hmm. TJ Dillashaw.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been working with a few MMA guys. Actually, I also have another guy, but he's not in the UFC. He's in the newer organization. They got the guy named is Mike Sianovich or something like that. He fought a couple fights in the UFC as well.
Mm-hmm. You just basically get them acclimated to boxing, and you do it like they do kicks as well, or just all you do is the boxing and the pad work.
No, you're not gonna be kicking me. I just work with their hands. I work with their hands, and basically I give them an option though, because I know that a lot of times the stance and stuff is a little different than boxing, so I give them that option of do you want to train with the way that you're gonna have to stand, as far as the way you're gonna have to kick or strike or whatever, in terms of what your stance is. And most of them just say no, just teach me boxing the way it is if you was teaching a boxer. So that helps.
Okay.
It makes it a lot easier for me.
Okay.
So after you win on Saturday, you know what they're gonna be saying over here? They're gonna be saying, well, you have to fight David Price. But are you gonna demand that happens in America, or the money's right, you'll just come back here, I suppose?
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, if in all honesty, this fight is about fighting, for the world title.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Who cares about David Price?
Yeah.
Because he don't got no title.
Yeah.
Well, we're just talking about the
You
money.
know, so
It'd be a big money fight.
it makes no business sense. You know, I don't care how much they're gonna pay him. They're not gonna pay him as much as the Klitschko's gonna pay him.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think the
So I
Klitschko's
mean,
are going to be
you
in
know,
a hurry to fight Kevin.
that don't make that's not good business.
I don't think Vitali would get back in the ring with Kevin though, because Kevin's been there and he sort of he did expose him a little. So I don't think the Klitschko. Yeah, it could happen, but
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I would rather see Kevin fight Vladimir rather than fight Vitali again. And I don't think that, because of the performance that Kevin put up against Vitali, people, they're not going to really buy that fight. They're not really going to be sold on it again. But, of course, I mean, but no one knows what Vitali's going to do. I mean, with the politics and stuff going on right now, I mean, maybe it's the perfect time, so if we can get that win, and then now all of a sudden you're not worried about fighting, Vitali. You're fighting, maybe the winner of Chris Arreola and the guy he's fighting.
Yeah.
Or, and then maybe even the option of the guy you just mentioned even being a part of the puzzle.
So, Jeff, are you going? I know obviously you're a professional and stuff like that. How are you going to deal with the rowdy crowd? I mean, it's going to be some sort of ruckus here,
Oh yeah,
you got your own security guards, and I'm not saying they're going to do that or anything.
No.
I'm just saying, but if you win though, you might have. You remember what happened to Marvin Hagler when he came over here and beat Alan Minter? I'm just saying, if you win and you win in spectacular fight, that actually could happen.
It can happen, but I'm hoping that the fans don't take that out on the fact that their guy got beat and he got beat fair and square. So I mean, I can't really. That's something that I can't really prepare for.
No, of course.
So it just, it is what it is. So I just have to deal with whatever the situation, whatever presents itself.
Yeah, through that.
I mean, I've been in that situation for sure. I mean, I've been there with Celestino Caballero. I mean, we went to Argentina twice. We got robbed the first time, and then went back there and basically annihilated battles. But the one thing is that the fans there, they were brutally honest. Even the first fight, they said you guys got robbed. Even the writers and everything. And then we went back the second time, and it just made it so clear cut that there was no way they could even attempt to rob us.
So what you got lined up today? You got another interview you got another press conference before the fight, or what's happening?
No, I think that was the last press conference. I did a small short interview with Sky Sports today. That's about it, I think.
Okay. What about how the American media, are they covering it well, or?
To be honest, I don't really know. I know that my website is covering it. So I don't really know, I mean, but I think it's a pretty big fight.
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you one question. So I think maybe the YouTube boxing community might be asking about a possible, maybe, I don't know if you want to answer, a possible Manny Pacquiao fight with Floyd Mayweather. How you feel about that, or how do you think your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, basically, it's a fight that still has the potential to happen. And I know that for a fact because I'm in the middle of the deal of it happening.
Oh, really? Right now?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So, it's definitely a potential that it will happen. It's just a matter of Manny has to win. If he loses, of course, the fight won't happen. But if he wins,
against Marquez, against Marquez, yeah.
Yeah, against Marquez, if he wins, I mean, the fight's still viable. It still can still be made.
Okay, yeah, for real. Or if, like, just in case, obviously, I'm not. Hopefully, I mean, that might happen because I actually thought Marquez might actually win this fight. But if he doesn't, what about any other opponents you have on the line, or that's it? Your focus is just Manny, and that's it.
I mean, for this particular fight and for, you know, the people that want to do this particular fight, is Manny or nothing.
Yeah.
They don't care about anyone else. I mean, you know, it's one of those situations. They want the fight that everybody else wanted. You know, and so if he loses, the fight won't happen.
Definitely. Wow, man. Okay. I was gonna say, you and your boxing career, you done fairly well in your boxing career, Jazzy Jeff. I
did okay.
Yeah, I mean, you boxed against Oscar De La Hoya. You know, you had a fairly good pro career. Yeah, fairly good pro.
All right.
Jeff, you anything else you want to add, or you gonna tell the fans on what the Kingpin's gonna do to on Saturday?
I mean, basically, to me, you have a guy that's just huge and clumsy against a guy who's polished and actually knows his craft and knows exactly what he's doing in the ring. You know, well, you know, it's a matter of will size prevail, or will will Kevin's skills prevail?
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, Tyson Fury is a very big guy, so you know, I mean, like in any heavyweight fight, a guy has a puncher's chance.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean that's a high possibility, but at the same time, he's so slow and methodical that, you know, I just don't see that happening. If Kevin can make the distance with Vitali, who's 10 times better than this guy, I think that he won't have no problem with this guy. But still, he has to work. He can't just go in there and do the same thing and, you know, rely on just not being touched or not being hurt. He needs to actually, you know, apply himself, and he's gonna have to do some hurting this time.
Definitely. Okay. All right then, Jeff. Well, we wish you well. Everyone, I wish you well. And so after the fight, you going back to the obviously after the fight, you're going back and stuff like that. What have you got back in the States lined up? Anything? Obviously your focus is just now, but there's anything you have when you get back in the States?
No, actually, when I get back, I have, you know, a fight just as big as this fight.
Really?
I have a fight against Brian Jennings for the USBA title with Boy Tupou.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm having you know big fights back to back really, because then the week after that I got Big Country fighting in the UFC.
Yeah. He's not fighting. He's not fighting.
Carwin.
Yeah.
No, Carwin pulled out.
Yeah, who's he fighting now?
He's fighting Matt Meteron or something like that.
Oh, Matt Meteron.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fighting Meathead.
That's Meathead?
Yeah, they call him.
Okay.
Yeah, because they call him Meathead because he used to play he used to play in the NFL.
Play football, right?
Yeah, play football.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Meathead.
Okay.
Oh, they got Meathead. They fight. Oh, okay, that should be interesting. Hey, but I think he beat him before. I think he beat him in the Ultimate Fighter series, so that should be easy for him. Roy, no, that's an easy win for Roy. I probably.
Well, I mean, I know that he was in the Ultimate Fighter series when they were on the show, but I don't know if they fought. I'm not sure, but you know, but I think that, you know, I mean, I've been working with Roy, and Roy is in tremendous shape.
Yeah.
So you know, and you know, I don't think there's probably nobody out there in the heavyweight division that throw as many punches as Roy.
No.
I have Roy throwing, you know, well over 500 punches around, you know, and that's just, you know, strictly punching, you know, but I mean, and that's my thing, is to try to get his punch count up.
Okay.
Same thing with Kevin, you know, I'm trying to, you know, get his punch count up as well.
Yeah. Oh, you talking his output, because they don't throw that many punches.
Right.
Yeah, that's true, because they work on a lot of power shots. If they bring on their output, then obviously the openings will come much easier rather than, you know, just letting your hands go, right?
Right, letting your hands go. I mean, eventually, you know, you're gonna find something.
Yeah,
you know, If you throw enough punches, I mean, a guy can only miss so many. You know, and then you know, eventually you're gonna land something.
Yeah, I mean that might be the criticism of that. I think that might have been the criticism for Kevin for most of his career, that he doesn't let his hands go. He's got all the talent and that, but he's like holding back. I mean, holding back. And you're doing a good job of trying to make his hands go. I think, I see his foot movement go. I see him just, you know, bobbing around the ring, moving around the ring and looking smooth on that. But yeah, I can see that working. And how long you been with Kevin anyway?
To be honest, it hasn't been very long.
Really?
I think we've been together for 2 weeks.
Really? But you look. I'm not gonna.
No, but he came out. Don't get me wrong. He came out because it's weird, because me and him were supposed to have been training with each other for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And he would always call me just to to kind of reassure me the fact that eventually we're going to train together.
Yeah.
But lo and behold, he got the call for this fight with Tyson Fury, and basically he called and said, Jeff, he said I have a big fight, man. He said, I was already, because I'm training Bowie, and I really didn't want to leave him, but actually I have a good friend of mine that's trained under me and pretty much trained a lot like me, so I decided, well, I'll let him, stay back and work with Bowie and let Kevin take advantage of this opportunity because, this isn't something that you get every day.
Yeah.
And so basically, I just told him, I said, yeah, come on out and let's go to work and try to win this fight and move on to bigger and better things.
Yeah. I mean, boy, I mean, honestly, like, honestly, I just got, I can honestly concede the Kingpin winning the fight, and it wouldn't be a shock to me. I mean, I put it out there, and obviously in some groups, I put it out there, and they're like, "No, he's going to win," and I was like, it wouldn't be a shock. I think it'd be a shock around the world, but not to me. Not to me.
Yeah. Well, I don't, to most people that honestly know boxing, they won't be shocked.
No, that's right.
But people that are caught up in being fans and don't really have no knowledge of boxing,
that's right.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, oh, because this dude Tyson Fury, he talk all this trash, and and so far he's been beating everyone, but at the same time, I mean, first of all, look at his resume.
Yeah.
What has he fought? And, I mean, I think if Kevin moves out the way, he might knock himself out like he...
Yeah, boy, that's a good point. I mean. So, hey, how's Ireland treating you? The food and stuff like that?
The food sucks.
Hey, we might have to edit that though. We might have to edit. We might have to edit that. The fans coming after you.
No, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. To be honest, the reason why the food doesn't taste good to me because I'm not used to tasting food that's so bland. It's almost like I'm used to having food that has flavor. Seasoning, some flavor. But here they don't. Their food is not really like that. But their food it's not bad. It doesn't taste bad.
Yeah,
and it's very filling. But it just seems like something's missing.
Yeah. Like they haven't. Go on.
No, but now television over here is horrible.
The television.
Oh my God. That's the worst. I mean, I'm watching them with damn Big Bang Theory and Scrubs and one other show. There's one other show and they play back to back to back to back to back to back to back. I think I watched Big Bang Theory. I think I watched it maybe 10 times in one day.
Oh man, they haven't got Sky over there.
Bazinga.
Huh?
No, that's what the guy says on the show, Bazinga.
Oh, what's that mean?
I have no idea. So it's quite obvious you never saw Big Bang Theory.
No, I don't watch that.
Oh, okay.
Boy, he sounds like, boy, you can't wait to get back to the States, man.
Well, I mean, it's not so much that. I mean, but I do have work to do. Because as soon as this is over, immediately I get a chance to go home for one day, and then I'm back on the plane again, headed to Philly.
Yeah. Okay.
And then as soon as I land, after that fight's over, I come back. Then I'm headed to. I'm not necessarily headed nowhere, but because the fight's going to be in Vegas. But I mean, I'm back to training, country again.
Yeah.
So getting him, touching up on the final days and stuff. So I mean, we have a very, very busy 3 weeks.
Could I get your input on Miguel Cotto versus Austin Trout?
I don't know. I think Austin Trout has to do something he's never done, and that's he's going to have to stand and fight. If he don't stand and fight, if he runs, he's not going to win because just because of Miguel Cotto's aggression, they're going to give him rounds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and he's an established champion. He's not, he's not the run-of-the-mill guy that you're fighting. You're fighting one of the top guys, one of the biggest draws in boxing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, in order to win, you're gonna have to do something he hasn't done before. And to me, I just can't see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
I have I have a few people that I know, and they're really, really high on Trout and thinks that he's gonna win. But me personally, I just don't think so, because I can't see him going in there and digging in the trenches with Cotto and coming out, with the best results. I can't see it.
Wow, I got Trout winning the fight, but I guess obviously you I'm not gonna question obviously your knowledge and stuff like that. What about how did you see the Berto and Guerrero fight?
I mean, I think Berto lost that fight on his own, basically, because I mean, here's a guy that he has a little bit of boxing ability, has faster hands, has more power. But he didn't use none of it. He allowed he allowed Guerrero to just grab and hold him and beat him with the ugliest style, in boxing. Basically grab and hold style.
Yeah.
And he got so content and relaxed fighting off the ropes that, that was the results of it. That, he really didn't do anything.
What did you think of?
He beat himself.
What did you think of Berto's interpretation of your nephew's shell style?
Well, obviously it didn't work. so that's the answer to that.
Can you
I mean, Floyd's done it what, 48 times?
Yeah.
Or 40 whatever.
43.
However many times Floyd did it worked. Berto did it one time and didn't work.
Yeah.
I'm glad I've got a world-class trainer in it. Can you tell me the components of doing that right, and why some fighters think they can do it? Is it necessary?
Well, certain fighters think they can do it because they see Floyd do it. But to be honest, they don't even know what they're doing. It's not what people think. People think that you're behind your shoulder and you when you roll you just turn. It's not even that. It's not that at all. It's all about timing. When you see the punch coming, you bring your shoulder up to block that punch, and so you don't get hit clean on the chin. But most people don't understand that. They think that you have to twist your whole body to get away from the punch, but you don't.
Okay.
Because that twisting and turning, all that does is that takes time. That takes time away from your counter.
Yeah.
So I mean, most people don't understand it, and it's one of those situations where you're going to see, I mean, more and more people. It's just like, in any sport, when a person becomes dominant in it, everybody want to know what that person is doing to be in that position.
Yeah.
But what most people don't realize is that, what you guys are seeing now, Floyd was able to do that at 6 years old.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's not like you can all of a sudden learn something that a guy's been doing basically his entire life.
You see, my interpretation, I'm not a trainer, it's not a magical defense. It's just your nephew is an exceptional fighter who uses it well. That's all it is.
Exactly.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, that's basically what it boils down to. It's not so much the style of defense itself. It's basically the fact that, like you said, I mean, Floyd mastered it.
Yeah. So, people don't realize sometimes it's not what you got, it's what you do with what you have,
And that's so true. And I mean, it's one of those situations, of course, where when Floyd was young in his career, I mean, Floyd wanted to showcase everything. That's why, people thought he was a runner, And Floyd realized now that he's older, he's not going to run from nobody. He can stay right in front of you to make you miss. And Floyd is physically stronger than most fighters anyway.
Yeah.
Because his body is so hard because he's been doing this his whole life. And people don't understand that. They don't understand when people thought that, Shane Mosley is going to walk him down. No, Shane Mosley's not going to walk him down. Floyd is stronger than Shane Mosley. He can't probably lift as much weight as Shane Mosley, but physical strength, no, he's much stronger than Shane Mosley. And not only that, mentally, he's stronger than most of the guys he's gonna step in the ring with, because from the very beginning, he's gonna plant a seed of doubt in their mind. You know, because they've already tasted defeat, and he hasn't.
Yeah, definitely. So what's your take on taking drugs in boxing?
I mean, it's horrible. I mean, because boxing is different than baseball. You're knocking a baseball out the park, and you know, in boxing, you're trying to take somebody's head off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, it's to be honest, it's horrible. It's horrible because, you know, like I said, I mean the consequences of a person's actions, because you can actually kill someone in the ring.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely.
You
Yeah.
know, so, I mean, I think that is horrible. You know, and I think that, you know, in the beginning, everybody wanted to try to put that crap out there that, oh, Floyd's scared of Pacquiao. That's why he's saying that. No, it had nothing to do with that. I mean, at the end of the day, this would be a part of Floyd's legacy.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that he changed boxing for the better.
Yeah.
Because if he didn't, all these other guys who's been getting caught lately, you know, never would have.
That's true. Yeah, everyone be taking it. We I mean, we had an interview with another boxer, a former heavyweight, former champion, and he implied that some of the elite heavyweight fighters are taking it. Obviously, you become champion. Are you gonna, when you become champion, should I say, when you guys become champion, are you gonna impose a USADA drug test on all Kevin Johnson's opponents?
I mean, I would, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, you know, I mean, of course, there's a lot of, you know, fighters, you know, over here, because it's a lot easier to do over here, you know, and I mean, not necessarily, I don't point the finger at, you know, where a person's from or anything, but because you can get it anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, it's more prevalent here. But, you know, I mean, I think that, you know, if, you know, we're in a position of power, yes. I mean, of course we would implement it, because I think that the playing level should be, you know, should be even.
Yeah, I think so as well. I agree with you. Definitely. Because, you know, that drug thing is running rampant along the sport, and obviously...
Right. Yeah, go ahead. I mean...
No, go ahead. Go on, sorry. Go on.
No, well, what I was getting ready to say is that, see, the one thing about it is this. You have to be bigger than the sport to make a change. And that's the only reason it changes, because Floyd is, at this point, you know, he's such a huge commodity to boxing.
Yeah.
That's why he was able to, you know, change that part of boxing solely because of who he was. You know, just like when you had Sugar Ray Leonard, who created a weight class that didn't even exist. You know, he's the one who created super middleweight.
Yeah.
You know, he created super middleweight, but realistically, won 2 titles on one night. How can you weigh in at 168 and also win a 175-pound title?
And make the light
you know,
heavyweight champion come
you know,
down to
so-
168 as well. That was Donnie Lalonde. He made Donnie Lalonde come down from 175
Exactly.
to 168. That was a disgrace, to be honest.
That was a disgrace. Well, no, but what I'm just saying is that, you know, fighters that are on that level, they can change. They can make a change to the sport.
Yeah, that's
you know,
what
whether, you know, and I mean, in that case, I mean, it was kind of bad because of the fact that, you know, you have a guy that's 175 pounds, and you put his title on the line, and some newly created title, and you get them both rather than, you know, you get the title that, you know, what you actually fought for.
And
you
that's
know?
how he
I
beat
mean,
Hearns to the 5th
you know,
title.
The catchweight stuff.
Yeah. And that's how he beat Hearns to the 5th title.
Well-
Why, you know, it was very political.
Yeah, I mean, of course it is. I mean, that's just like, I mean, here you go, you got Manny Pacquiao, who supposedly is, what, a 9-time or 8-time world champion, and he fought probably 3 or 4 title fights at catchweights.
Yeah, that's right.
How is that possible?
Yeah, exactly.
When there's weights that are actually, there are weight classes that actually exist.
Yeah.
Every world title that Floyd won, he fought that person at that weight.
That's right.
Exactly. I hate how people just run rapshod over that fact. You know, I don't get it. I don't get it.
We was talking about the dislike towards Floyd, yeah, is because obviously he's creating the mindset for other young guys to follow his blueprint to be successful in the sport, and I don't think people like that. I don't think the establishment boxing like that. The idea that you become your own promoter, you look out for your own money, you call the shots. Into the fact that it's almost like Sugar Ray Robinson, the way what Floyd is doing, hard negotiator. He don't do anything he don't need to do, and he always puts himself in a good position where he's comfortable, where the outcomes are probably going to be in his favor. I mean, not necessarily. I mean, with Cotto, some people say, oh, you know, that's a good 50-50 fight, and obviously the fight people want to see with Martinez, which I don't think Floyd should do, because I just think
I don't think Floyd's going to waste his time fighting Martinez. Martinez comes from 180 pounds, and you know, and plus not only that, I mean, Martinez is not a, you know, I mean, he's only known by boxing people. He's not a boxing attraction. He's not going to do huge numbers. To be honest, the only person out there for Floyd to honestly fight that really makes sense is Canelo.
Mm-hmm. Canelo?
It's not Guerrero, not Martinez. I mean, because this guy has a huge following.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy that actually, when you go to the pay-per-view, he's going to bring, you know, millions. He's going to probably bring 1 million buys himself, as opposed to you get a guy you fight, a Tim Bradley, who's probably going to bring 10,000 buys, or you get a Martinez who's going to probably bring 20,000 buys.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, or less.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, it's a business. It's a business. Once you get to the level where Floyd's at, I mean, it becomes a business. It's not just about, you know, trying to fight everyone that everybody wants you to fight.
Yeah,
because
that's right.
That's what everybody wants you to do. They want you to, because everybody wants you to actually get beat.
Yeah.
So because they figuring that, okay, well, if this guy can't beat you, we're going to put this guy in front of you. This guy can't beat you, we're going to put this guy. But every time they do that, what happens is this. The second they get a guy and they create the new guy that's supposed to beat Floyd, he ends up getting beat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they created Margarito.
Yep.
Margarito got beat. Then right after that, they created Paul Williams. Paul Williams got beat.
Yeah, he got knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
And,
You know, but what I'm saying is that every situation, in every scenario, right after that person that's supposed to be out there, that's supposed to be Floyd, get beat.
Yeah. Andre Berto, that happened to. He got beat. I heard people saying, "Oh, Floyd should fight," but then he get beat by Victor Ortiz, and then Floyd beats Ortiz. It's like what people don't realize, and I've noticed they don't study history. Boxing has always been a case of you get the most attractive fight you can on paper with the most money. You have to have a lot of it factors. You can't just fight somebody way down the ranking who hasn't got no following and he can't bring nothing to the and it's always been like that.
No, it's a business.
Yeah,
I mean, boxing is a business. I mean, if a person can do numbers, you fight them.
Yeah,
that's right.
I mean, just like what everybody is saying, well, okay, well, you know, you just fight Tim Bradley now. For what? Tim Bradley can't sell 100 homes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's getting dogged right now, boy.
I mean, it's a shame, though, that for a guy to, you know, I mean, he's being so, it's almost like he's non-existent now, that he won the fight. He didn't really win, but getting the decision was the worst thing that ever happened to him.
Yeah, it was.
Financially, it wasn't, because, I mean, now he's financially set. You know, and at the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters. And, I mean, I think that, you know, Tim himself, I mean, he seems like he took everything so personal, and that he just kind of, like, became, you know, a recluse and, you know, not talking to the media and things like that. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it ain't the first time, and it ain't gonna be the last time that you're gonna get a decision that wasn't supposed to go your way, because there are gonna be times where you're gonna have decisions that's gonna go the other way.
Well, that's right.
You know, so I mean, you just gotta accept it and take it with a grain of salt and move on to the next thing.
That's right.
You know, I mean, especially when you're talking about, okay, now you got the biggest payday of your life, and you know, of course, the whole world know that you didn't win. You know you didn't win either, but they gave it to you.
Yeah.
Accept it. Move on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, accept it and move on, because, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, your family's going to have a better life because you did get the decision.
Well, that's right. That's right. And, like, the financial aspect is so important, because let's say Floyd fights Canelo and he dismantles him really easy. What are they going to say? Oh, he was inexperienced. Who did he fight?
Oh, that's going to, no matter who Floyd fights, that's going to happen. I mean, it's happened time and time again. You know, just like even when he fought Mosley.
Yeah.
They said, okay, well, he washed up, he's through, he this. But yet, when he fought Canelo, everybody thought Canelo did something so spectacular.
Yeah.
And not only that, Floyd fought Shane, after coming off his biggest win.
That's right.
Against Margarito.
Yes, sir. That's
so. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. But no matter what Floyd does, Floyd's not going to get. He's not going to get the credit he deserves until he's probably 10 years removed from his career.
No. He getting the credit right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. We right now in the YouTube boxing community and everyone we talk to, he getting the credit right now. He fighting guys who come off wins. It's there in Box Rec. If anyone wants to look, check it up. If you check when he fought Castillo, anyone he's ever fought and any weight class he's ever fought, the guys have come off wins or they've been champions.
That's right.
It's pure. It's there to see. I mean, look, I'm not trying to take. The media are trying to put it. The mainstream media are trying to put it this way. That's why we got channels like us here to come across and straighten things out. Because everyone knows that these things are not being put right in perspective. Yeah. There's no cherry picking going on around here. No. Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Ain't none of that thing. Floyd's getting his due. Not when he's retired. Not when he's in the Hall of Fame. I'm telling you right now, Jeff. He's getting respect right now by the guys who know what we're talking about. Not people like Larry Merchant, who's gonna come out there and listen to the crowd and say, okay, the crowd are booing him. Let me jump on board. No.
Right.
Larry Merchant should do his job and say the proper things. Good job, champ. It was a great defense. You put on a great show. And what do you have to say to your fans? And be respectful. And coming on and trying to disrespect Floyd and trying to put him in a bad light.
I mean, what do you think it is? Do you think it's because the money image? Is that why, or they just?
I mean, of course, that's part of it. That's a huge part of it. And I mean, because, first of all, a lot of people in general don't understand sometimes that being cocky is just insinuating confidence and and believing in yourself and in your ability. But sometimes it rub people the wrong way. So I mean, they jump on the other side, and of course it becomes a situation of dislike and a situation of hatred. And to be honest, Floyd has turned that situation to a profitable business.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because I mean, basically, it's one of those situations like they always say. If you got lemons, turn them into lemonade. And that's basically what Floyd has done. I mean, so what, you hate him, but you're willing to spend your money to see him.
That's right. Win or lose, like Muhammad Ali. What's your take on the Ricky Hatton fight? Did you see it this weekend? Last weekend?
Unfortunately, I didn't see it because both of the other fights were on at the same time. So I just chose to watch the other fight instead.
Oh, the Berto fight and the Guerrero.
Right.
Yeah. Well, okay. All right then. So I'll leave that one alone. All right then. So, Beach, you got anything else you want to add?
Can you give us your details, like if people want to follow you on Twitter or your YouTube channel?
Well, I'm on Twitter at Jeff Mayweather 1 on Twitter.
Yeah, that's right.
Of course, I'm on Facebook just under Jeff Mayweather. And, of course, hopefully I can get people to follow me also on my website, Pro Boxing Insider, and MMA Insider.com. So doing a little bit of things,
Okay.
And the website is growing. I actually got a couple people working on the site as well from over here. So
okay, I'm gonna go check the website out now.
Trying to make it more global.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely, Jeff. I mean, obviously, I'm on your Twitter. So could you when you get back, send me your cell phone if I can try and keep in contact with you? Is that possible? Yeah? Okay, I appreciate that, Jeff, man. I appreciate that. Go on, Beats. You want to say something?
No, I just said I'm going to go check out that website that you just announced. I was going to go check it out.
Okay, yeah. All right, Jeff. Yo, good luck, Jeff, with the fight.
Right.
And could we have a post-fight with you after the fight?
Yeah.
I understand if things maybe don't go your way, but I'm expecting things to do go your way.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not that type of person. I'm not the type of person where it all has to be, glory, be wild talk. I mean, if we lose, we lose.
Okay, that's right.
I'm still willing to talk about it, because, I mean, that's going to let, to me, I mean, I have to be honest, make an honest assessment at that as well. I mean, now it's different. If we get robbed, yeah, that's totally different. I mean, if we get beat, we get beat, and I mean, that's part of boxing.
Yeah, that's right. All right, and Jeff, so we'll talk to you after the fight then.
Okay.
All right then, Jeff.
Been a pleasure.
All right, take care. Have a nice day, bro.
Okay.
All right, you
All right,
too.
peace.
Bye.
Bye.